Last time we did the monthly pulse, I just pulled up some jokes, some nerdy, dad joke type of jokes. But this week in particular, the entire Twitter, at least my entire Twitter feed is all about ChatGPT, which if you guys don't know what that is an AI product that was built by OpenAI, and it's a large language model. So it's probably being powered by GPT-3, which is one of their AI models. And it's very well tuned to be very conversational. So if you haven't tried out already, this is totally unrelated to Ironfish, but you can just go to chat.openai.com to try it out yourself. And so we spent some time, probably more time than we would like to admit, asking ChatGPT for some jokes, specifically some crypto jokes. And unfortunately, I guess the ultimate test for any AI is how funny can the jokes that they come up with be. And they were not that funny, but there were some that stood out. And so while we wait, I have some AI generated jokes by ChatGPT that were somewhat good. And then we'll get started in 2 minutes, I promise. This won't take that long. All right, joke number 1. Cryptocurrency, the only thing that goes up faster than the price of avocados. Haha. Yeah, these are not very good. All right, another joke. Why was the computer cold? Because it had its windows open. Yeah, even I can't laugh at these. All right, third one. Why was the blockchain cross? Because it couldn't get over its own hashes. Yeah, these are not getting better. However, what large language models are pretty good is they're really good at style. Oh my gosh, what is that called? Style transfer. So, for instance, you can tell it to summarize some data, and then you can tell it to transform that data into a poem or into a haiku or into anything else. And so what we did next is we asked ChatGPT to make a poem about blockchains and zero knowledge proofs. And I think I actually did a pretty good job. So for the next minute, while we wait some people to trickle in, I will read a AI generated poem by ChatGPT. In the world of blockchains, where data is secure, zero knowledge proofs protect privacy for sure. With cutting edge technology and algorithms so fine, privacy focused protocols keep our data divine. No need to share our secrets, no need to disclose. With zero knowledge proofs, we maintain control. So let our transactions flourish and let our data be free, thanks to the power of blockchains and the beauty of zero knowledge. Okay, and
I
with
really wanted a rhyme at the end there.
that, didn't quite rhyme at the end.
Yeah.
So we're going to be opening up the monthly Pulse Chat Discord channel. And if it's not opened, okay, great, it's been unlocked. Please post your questions there, and we will either answer them on stage or we will answer them in the channel itself. And with that, I think we can get started. Okay, so I'll kick it off with some intros. So we do have some new team members, and they'll introduce themselves shortly. We have Meg and Neil, who are both on marketing, and they just joined us about 2 weeks ago, I think. And so I'll let Neil take it away, giving us a quick update on some of the things you might be expecting from our community efforts. Neil?
Great. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, hi, everyone. My name is Neil Doshi. I'm super, super excited to be here. Maybe I'll just introduce myself first. So, I come to Ironfish having had an earlier career in higher education. And I also have several years of producing content for different layer ones, DeFi protocols, and at one point promoting NFT artists. Since I joined Ironfish, from day one, I've just been amazed at how kind, open, and engaged the community is, and I'm really looking forward to interacting with you going forward. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime on Discord. I'll be on here a lot, and I love to talk about crypto and Having grown up in San Francisco in a family that worked in the restaurant industry, I also like talking about food. So please reach out anytime. So I think what I'll do is I'll pass it on to Meg for an intro, and then we'll talk about the community.
Meg, are you able to unmute? Okay, I
Yes,
think
I
Meg is.
was.
Oh,
Are we
great.
having? Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Yay, technology. So hi everyone, Meg Blanchette, heading up marketing here at Ironfish, and I am also super excited to be here. I've been in tech a while now. I started out of the gate as an editor for O'Reilly Media and have just worked in comms and marketing and HR and various things at startups from ed tech to B2B data science and everything in between. Known Elena for a bit and always been really impressed with her vision. So I'm looking forward to talking with all of you more and getting involved. Like Neil said, reach out to us anytime. We are here to hear from you. And in that vein, Neil, please let them know what we have coming up.
Great, thanks. Thanks, Meg. So going forward, Meg and I will be contacting people from the community to ask you about your story, why privacy matters to you, how you got involved with Ironfish. Please reach out if you have a story to share. Also, I want to say that you don't have to wait for us to reach out to you. If you feel like you have something to tell us, just contact us. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you're passionate, if you're interested in creating a technical tutorial, if you want to help people install full nodes, feel free to reach out. If you have suggestions, there's content you'd like to see that's not there, our lines are always open. And I believe that we'll soon be creating a Discord channel called Outreach, and that will be a very easy way to get in touch with us.
It's open now, actually.
Is it open now? Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it is.
Thanks.
Cool. And with that, Adi, do you want to give a brief overview of what happened with phase 2? People should be looking forward to phase 3.
Sure. Hi. First off, thanks everyone for joining in today. As always, we are really grateful that you could make time and interact with us over here today. So, as you all know, phase 2 has concluded last month, 28th November. We initially were supposed to conclude it much earlier, but we extended it on public demand to ensure that more people have more time to make deposits. Um, and even though phase 2 has ended, we still have 2000 nodes online, which is incredible. Thank you so much, everyone who's still supporting Anfish. Please know that because we are between phases of testnets, which is phase 2 has ended and phase 3 is yet to begin, hosting a node right now will not lead to testnet points. So if you were under that impression, you might need to reconsider. But if you knowingly have it on, then we thank you for giving us the data so that we can work on improving the network. Phase 3 will begin on the 18th of January. More information about it is on our website. The About page is still a work in progress, but you get an idea of what sort of activities are supported, what's coming up in phase 3. You can also check out the roadmap to get an idea of what we have in progress in development for the coming weeks. We are also bringing back weekly caps in case anyone's here from phase 1. You remember what that is. The primary task that we have, or what is different in phase 3, would be three different testnet tasks. One is mint asset, second is burn asset, and third is send asset. So how do assets work? Why would you mint, burn, or even send one? And why would you be rewarded for it? So how do these assets work is something that we are going to elaborate upon very, very soon. The medium of content is yet to be determined, but we are going to give you a more detailed walkthrough or information about what we are doing with that. Also, keeping the category for node uptime, that is, a lot of you have been hosting nodes, and every 12 hours that you keep it running, when it is synced, when the telemetry is on, you get rewarded for it with testnet points. So the same will continue in testnet phase 3 as well. As and always, we love all the bug submissions and the pull requests that have been submitted to us. That really helps us improve, and it's an open source project, so all your contributions are always appreciated. So if you have a knack for finding bugs or love contributing to code, then please do in phase 3 as well. Submit your pull requests and bug submissions. Uh, thank you, everyone.
All right, awesome. So I just want to iterate some of the goals that we had for phase 2 and some of the goals that we're going to have for phase 3. So our goal for phase 2 was to stress test the system, and I think we did a really good job there. So by incentivizing having nodes online and sending transactions, we surpassed more, like we had more zero knowledge proof transactions than probably all other chains combined. And at peak, we had almost 11,000 nodes online. And to give you some perspective, Bitcoin has roughly 15,000 nodes online. So that was a really great number to see. Our volumes reached to something like 400,000 transactions a day, which is roughly a third of Ethereum's volume. So that was really amazing. And, because of that, the team was able to work on optimization and performance issues that arose from that volume. So now moving to phase 3, the goal for phase 3 is all about multi-asset, which I will talk about in a minute. But multi-asset is the foundation for what we want Ironfish to be in the future. And so for phase 3 in particular, we're focusing entirely on multi-asset. That is why the categories are really, really related to what multi-asset is. So we'll be incentivizing for people to actually create their assets, to burn the assets, and to send custom assets as well. So with that, I'm going to talk about multi-asset. So what is multi-asset? We keep talking about it, but what is it? So right now, Ironfish only supports one asset, which is Ironfish. And so the way the privacy mechanism works is that even though all the transactions are encrypted, we're still able to balance every transaction such that no assets are created or destroyed out of thin air. Now with multi-asset, we're going to expand Ironfish to also have the concept of multiple assets, even though the transaction itself is still going to be private, and you cannot tell a difference between a transaction that has one type of asset versus a different type of asset. It'll be completely indistinguishable. So just like Ethereum supports ERC20, Ironfish will be able to support custom user assets. And so again, for phase 3, we'll actually encourage people to create their own custom user assets and transact with those. One example that we're kind of shooting for is imagine a native USDC coin on Ironfish in a completely private environment. It could either be something like a native USDC, or it could be a bridged asset, like a bridged USDC on Ironfish. Again, in a completely private asset, which for us is really exciting because there's no system that really has usable private native stablecoin. And that is, very much the use case that we're shooting for. And to our knowledge, there's no other layer 1 that supports native multi-assets the way phase 3 is going to support. So again, we're very excited to test it out, to make sure it works, and to kind of present this feature to you guys. Again, this is the foundational work to allow Ironfish to be the privacy layer for all crypto assets. And that is ultimately our goal. Our goal is for Ironfish to be the go-to privacy solution for all crypto assets. And so multi-asset is a huge, huge feature that is the first stepping stone to building out that vision. Now, the white paper is still very outdated. And so I'll let Meg speak a little bit about some of the work that's going to be going into that to make sure that our white paper reflects all these changes that we'll be doing for phase 3. Meg?
Yes, definitely. Very excited about these changes to the white paper. I worked as a freelancer on the original version of the white paper back in the day, and so it's really fulfilling just personally to be able to update it in this way. The best part of it is that, everyone's been involved, right? Our community is so active and so vocal and, so engaged in open source. And our team has really all had their pieces that they've worked on deeply. And so we will be updating across the board. No piece of the white paper will be left untouched because we are also updating, messaging and answering questions community members have been asking, going deeper on technical concepts because the people want that and people want more information. Really looking forward to seeing the response to it. And just keep your thoughts coming, keep your opinions coming, because that helps us figure out how we can best serve you and best give you the information you need.
And Meg's being a bit humble here, so I'll just throw in some more flattery. So Meg has worked her entire career by being a technical editor. And so she worked with Riley to edit entire books in topics like Python and Java and Go. And so she actually worked with us for the original version of the white paper. And so her superpower is to take a very technical document that may not make a lot of sense and actually transform it into something that is readable and understandable to the user. And that is actually the core of what Ironfish is to be really approachable to anyone who's reading it. And even though the white paper is outdated, even to this day, people have been telling us that it's one of the easiest white papers to read and to actually understand what is going on in Ironfish. So again, there will be major updates. It'll probably be completed during phase 3, and some of the features that we're working on are actually still in flux. So stay tuned for that. And with that, I want to pass it on to Rohan, who has actually been working on the multi-asset effort to give you some updates of the features that are currently merged in and some of the things that you might be expecting for phase 3.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Elena. So yeah, as Elena mentioned, I've been working very closely with another engineer on the team on this multi-asset project for a couple of months. So what we have completed up to date is we've basically updated our Rust code base to be completely asset aware. Our Rust code base focuses on verifying various parts of a transaction, making sure stuff balances out, and all the zero knowledge proof stuff. So we've introduced new circuits that enable you to mint and burn arbitrary assets. And we've updated our spend and output circuits so that transfers can now include arbitrary assets. So that's all done and complete. Matt and I are now updating our TypeScript code. So this is involving updating a lot of our data storage layers to store new assets as they're created, and then updating our wallets so you can mint, burn new assets, and also transfer them to different wallets. And with that, I will pass it on to Joe, who will be talking about some protocol updates.
Hey guys, so we made some major protocol updates in the coming release, and there are 2 of them, and I'll tell you what they are, and then Elena will discuss why we're making these changes. The first is that we'll be moving to a space where we'll have one public address per wallet. Previously, it was possible to have any number of public addresses per wallet. The second is that we are adding the sender to the note contents, meaning that if you're able to decrypt and view the note, the sender's randomized public address will be displayed in the note content. And this is important for a couple reasons, and Elena, I'll tell you why.
Awesome. So there were 2 reasons for some of the protocol changes that we've made. One of the reasons is we wanted to come from a usability aspect. We want to get to parity with Bitcoin in a private way. So for Bitcoin, for instance, if you receive money, you know exactly where that money is coming from. And the way Ironfish used to work for phase 1 and phase 2, you actually had no idea where the money came from. So if you kind of saw your transaction in the wallet, you might have seen that you received some money, but you actually have no idea who sent you that money. And so one of the changes that we did that Joe just described is we actually ensure that the sender of the note is in the note itself so that the wallet can actually display who sent you the money. Now, the way Ironfish used to work is you had a one-to-many mapping of one secret key to many public keys. And we actually removed that feature, again, for usability and also for responsible privacy, which is what I'll talk about next. So what is responsible privacy? So we are not sacrificing privacy with these features at all. And we are building this product for you. We're building this product for normal people who want to use cryptocurrency in a safe way. And we're not building this product for bad actors. We want to make sure that Ironfish is not being used for evil. And we want to make sure that we feel good about the people that are using Ironfish. And then in a very practical way, some of the partners that we want to work with, like some of the exchanges or the custodians, they want to know exactly where the funds come from whenever they support Ironfish. And so that was also the impetus of those two features, which again is to make sure that there's a one-to-one mapping of spender key to public key, and that the sender actually puts their public key on the note itself so that the recipient always knows where the funds actually come from. So those features are pretty much done. One of them is already fully merged. The other, I believe, is about to be merged. And those are the features that you'll see for phase 3 as well. All right. And next up is going to be Jason talking about the deposit address.
Yeah, I don't have that much to say here, but if you participated in phase 2, you might have noticed we made an announcement where we explained that there are some users who had made deposits where those deposits may not have counted. Now, if you made your deposits using the deposit command or the deposit all command, your deposits were not affected by this issue in any way, shape, or form. The only users who are affected by this issue are those who used the pay command and copy pasted the address manually into the terminal. And ultimately what happened is we had released a address for a bank that wasn't finalized, and that went out in an announcement earlier at the beginning of phase 2, and the bank account got swapped. So that Iron and those deposits were actually sent to an account that Ironfish does not own. But we are collecting outgoing view keys to be able to audit those transactions to check if it did indeed go to that account, and we are back crediting all users who deposited to that account. It's very important that you submit your outgoing view keys, which I will paste into the monthly pulse channel instructions on exactly how to do that and submit it to the forum if you're not already aware. We already have over 16 keys submitted, so sometime in the next couple of weeks we'll just re-decrypt the chain, look for those transactions, and make sure to create and credit those users for those deposits. We're sorry for this mistake. It's a good lesson in kind of managing your own keys. And by that recommendation, I strongly recommend you all add your accounts when you create them to 1Password or some other password management or some place where you won't lose it. And that's all I have. I'll hand it off to Elena if she wants to finish up the call.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all we have for this announcement. Again, we're currently not actively doing the incentivized testnet since phase 2 just ended and phase 3 will begin in the next year. So this is actually a great time for us to get to know you more. And so Meg and Neil are going to be reaching out to all of our community members to get to know your story, why you're participating. And if you're a person that is super enthusiastic about building tutorials, Meg and Neil would love to hear from you. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in. I believe this will be posted in our YouTube channel for record keeping. And we're always available here in Discord for any questions that might come up. Thank you so much again for everyone who participated in phase 2 and for people who are participating even in this pending period before phase 3. And we hope to see you in the new year if we don't have the next the next monthly stand up is going to be next year. So that is pretty exciting. All right. Thank you all so much. And have an awesome Friday. Bye everyone.